create this world first. Nobody else gets to tell you what it looks like. So there we go. So what we're going to do is we want to focus on the world that we want to create, not the world or the reality that we're in right now, right? Because there's a million things we could focus on that we need to work on. Does anybody have a list just always running in their head that's like so far out in front of them that they don't even know like how they're ever going to get there? I know I do, like me personally, I'll admit that, right? So we can focus always on all the things, or we can just focus on the world we want to live in. So that's going to be my what I'm going to encourage you to do today.
It's a scroller.
Oh, then give me the scroller.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do we need a vision board?
What would be in front of you? Keep your goals in front of you.
Yeah, so it helps us create a clear vision of what we want, right? I think that this is a big challenge for a lot of people is a lack of clarity. It's really hard to figure out where we want to go if we can't see what we want to do, right? So the vision board helps us get a clear vision of where we want to go and what we want to accomplish. Your vision board should have a mixture of things on it. Some of those things are going to be way further out. Some of those things are going to be things you're going to accomplish right now or the first part of the year. So your vision is just going to give you a clear vision of what you want to accomplish. And then it tells your brain that they need to believe it's going to happen. So your brain sees the images and says, oh, I'm going to go to Mexico this year. Oh, I'm going to go to Mexico this year. Oh, I'm going to go to Mexico this year. The dominoes start to line up of how we're going to create it and make it. How does it work? So there really is science behind it. So you're stimulating your brain with visual images, blah, 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 blah. Reticular activating system, also known as RAS. So who can tell me, because I know you little scholars that have been here before can tell me what RAS is.
It's when you see the car you want, you start seeing that car
Everywhere. Addison's RAS is so tuned in to Jeeps. Not Jeep trucks, but her RAS is also tuned into those because she likes to talk about how much she hates them. Every single Jeep on the street, I promise you, Addison, my 17-year-old sees. Why?
That's what she wants.
Because she wants it. She's obsessed with it. So her brain is like, oh, you want a Jeep? There's a Jeep. 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 Right? What you focus on is going to expand. So your brain will start to say, your brain is taking in, and I didn't include the video today. You guys can just give it a little goog if you want to see the video. But there's a video that talks about this. It says that there's so many millions of images processing that your brain is trying to process every single second of the day. So your brain has to try to filter those things to say what's actually important to us versus what's not, right? So if I tell you guys to focus on the color red, just like look around the room, notice everything that's red while I go turn down the air conditioner. So like, we got like a sauna going on in here. We may have New Year's goals, but we don't need to start them right now by moving women. Did everybody focus on something red? Yeah. Did you see a lot of red things? Red lips. That's what made me think of it actually. Or red lips there. Red capper. Red think bigger. Red stand hat. There's red everywhere, right? What was blue? You didn't notice that though, right? Like first off, your pants.
I did because the shirt is red.
Oh, Santa's pants. I was like, I don't even have pants on. It was no pants. You can't instantly recall something unless you're somebody who's like multitasking. You normally aren't going to focus on that because we asked you to focus on something red, so your brain is looking for the red. So your reticular activating system essentially is the filter, right? If you picture all this information coming into your brain, and then it starts to just filter it down to say what's actually important to Russie, because this little tiny bit of information is all that's going to actually make it through into my brain. So it's you figuring out and filtering what's important to you. Your RAS goes to work for it. Reticular activating system is just right here too, with the network of neurons, brain science. So now that we understand how, let's work on it. So the top 5 reasons that you need a vision board in my, I'll use Sean Jenkins, my humble yet accurate opinion, why you need a vision board. The vision boards make you think about what it is you really want. So vision board is a time for you to just create that world that you want to live Okay, again, it's your world, it's your vision, you get to create it. So it helps you think about what it is that you really want to create. Vision boards can help you get unstuck. So has anybody ever got to a point where you're just like, man, you're just banging your head against a wall, you just feel stuck. You're on a hamster wheel, right? You're just running through the same circles, doing the same things, and you're just feeling a little stuck. Well, a vision board can help you get unstuck. And that can do it in a couple different ways. It can be while you're creating the vision board. We're going to talk about where your vision board should be, and it can be where when you're revisiting your vision board to look at it. Quite frankly, my vision boards from the past sometimes are the number one thing to help me get unstuck, right? Because you look back and you're like, oh, look, cute little baby Russie 5 years ago really wanted this. And now I've accomplished these things, but this is still on my list. So it can help you get unstuck. Vision boards provide you with a daily visual reminder of your dreams and goals. Because we all get caught up in just the movement of every day, right? We've got the things on our list we have to check off that we're just doing automatically. Sometimes we forget that we have this big goals that we want to accomplish. So it can provide you a daily visual reminder. Vision boards should get you fired up emotionally. We're going to do actually a little journaling session today too. And so I just really encourage you to tap into those emotional pieces. Emotions, I don't remember the exact full law, but it's
Thank you.
emotion, what? Sorry. Basically, emotion equals motion, right? So emotion, it's going to make you act. So if you're not emotionally fired up about your vision board or what you're doing, you probably need some different visions. Probably need a different goal for your vision board. And here's what I think happens sometimes in vision boards is we look around the room and we're just like, Russie wants a beach house. I should have a beach house. Christy wants to make $40 million next year. I should want to make $40 million next year. And we borrow other people's visions, and we borrow other people's dreams, and we borrow other people's goals. And that's okay if that gets you like connected and kind of thinking through more of what you want. But if the reality is that you're not like it doesn't fire you up, it doesn't scare you a little bit, there's not some type of emotional connection to it, it probably doesn't necessarily belong on your vision board, right? So if like your bed being made every single morning is like a vision that you have for yourself, but it doesn't emotionally connect with you and it's just part of what you are, it probably doesn't belong on your vision board. But if you can like picture your family spending Christmas in your little snowy mountain cabin, and you're going to get snowed in so that nobody can come and see you, and probably service is going to get knocked out, and you're just going to be like cozied up with your family in your jammies, playing board games, drinking great wine, looking out your picture window into the mountains. Am I emotionally connected to that? You think that belongs on my vision board every single year until I get it? Yeah. Right? You guys have heard this for a long time. Like I have this vision in my head that will happen. I'm emotionally connected to it. If I'm not emotionally connected to Sean's yacht, because that's on his vision board, it doesn't belong on mine. I'm going to be super excited for him when he gets it, but you should be emotionally connected and it should fire you up emotionally. Plus, it's just kind of fun. We get to go back to arts and crafts days, go back to kindergarten a little bit. So they're fun, and then they're going to provide some focus too. Okay, so what should we include on our vision board? This is an example of some things that should be there. Like I said, we're going to do a little journal exercise that we can walk through too. That should help give you some ideas and get you in a creative mindset. But some things on your vision board might include some goals that you want to have. It might include some health goals, some financial goals. You might have a goal to get more organized this year to inspire others to travel. I mean, who doesn't want to come to a party at my house? It's like this in my backyard, right? So that's what you should include on your vision board. Basically, anything that is a goal or a dream of yours, whether it's short-term or long-term, it should go on your vision board. It has to be important to you, and it has to it has to fire you up. So the 5 F's of a vision board. Fun. If I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. For real. It's got to be fun, right? So we got to include some fun on our vision board. We got to include finance or fortune, right? So this might be short-term goals, long-term goals, your retirement age. What do you need to do this year to get you closer? It should include family, whatever that family looks like to you. So some of us have family, which are friends that became family, but it should include family and friends. Fitness, are there things, and this isn't not saying put a weight loss goals. I think anytime we talk about fitness, that's what people instantly our mind goes to. What do you need to do like to be physically fit or mentally fit? Like, is there mental fitness that belongs on your vision board this year? And then freedom. What does freedom look like for you? Right. So that is that. What do you say?
Great part.
Great part.
You don't know that part, the great part?
No, I am with you.
Dying?
I'm with
You've
you.
never seen Braveheart?
Like,
Watch your arms.
They like rip his stomach out and he yells freedom at the end.
Is that a
See?
stomach or a heart?
He's pulling his guts out.
His
I
own?
watched it on Christmas.
No, he's being tortured.
I'm with you.
Anyway. I just wanted you to say it like Breitbart. See?
Freedom, whatever that looks like for you. So those are some 5Fs to just get your brain thinking of what needs to go on your vision board. And then where are you going to keep your vision board? So here's what I think happens, similar to what happens to goals pretty often, is we create our vision board or we create our GPS for the year, and then we just never really look at it again, or it gets stuck somewhere, goes in a closet or whatever. So where are you going to keep it that you see your vision board every single? Is that going to be your screensaver on your phone? Is it going to be on your closet door where you see it every morning when you go to get dressed? Is it going to be in your office? Is it going to be across from your desk? So as you're sitting at your desk working and you're hitting the 3 o'clock, I need a coffee break, you're looking at your vision and you're saying, nope, keep going. You got this. Is it going to be in your coffee area? Those of us, I mean, that's everywhere for some of us. Is it going to be on your phone? Is it going to be a wall in front of your bed? Is it in your bathroom? Is it the screensaver on your computer? If you guys ever go in and Sean's screensaver's on, it's his vision board for the year. But where are you going to pay attention to it every day? And if you physically make one, maybe you got to move it around a little bit too, right? Like it might start out in your bathroom where you're looking at it every day and you're fired up by it. And then it might move to your office or it might move to other places that wherever you're going to still continue to pay attention to it. I was in a vision board class a while ago. This was maybe a few years ago. And somebody made the comment about how they didn't want everybody to see their vision board. Well, it's just for me, and I just don't want to leave it in my office because I just feel like everyone's going to look at it. And I don't know if they were feeling judged or what the reason for that was. But you guys let people in on your vision. The more you talk about it, the more you create it like a reality, it makes it real. It makes people on the sidelines cheering you and your vision on too. And you might just inspire somebody else, right? Someone else might see your vision board and be like, man, I've always wanted to be like Steph. And look at her vision board. I want to go create one. It's super cute. She gets all the cute listings from it. You know, but honestly, it might just inspire somebody else. So be proud of your vision board and know that it's a work in progress and don't be embarrassed by anything on it. Like this is just like I said earlier, it's your world. It doesn't matter if it doesn't feel big enough for someone else or if it feels too big for somebody else. It's yours. You get to choose it. You get to decide what it's going to look like. So where are you going to keep your vision board? Before you leave today, I want you to figure out where is that going to go? Like, where do you want to have it that you're going to see it every single day, day in, day out? You're going to be reminded of the big dreams that you had for 2020. Okay, so think about where you're going to put it and have a decision made by the end of the day today. And then another thing that I think is really important, and I do this every single year, is what word is going to define 2024 for you. So when you're thinking about words that define you and or define the year, is what is a virtue that you want more of in your life? So start thinking through, like, as you're thinking about 2024, what's something that you want more of? What is something that energizes you? What's something that you're passionate about? So you guys can start just like jotting down a few little words if you want to. What is a goal that you have this year? What challenge do you want to overcome? What do you want more of? Your word of the year should be inspiring. It shouldn't stress you out or make you feel less than. It should inspire you every day. Is there something that you want to improve on? And what brings you joy? So those are some ideas of things that you can connect on. As we're thinking through words, I'll just put this up here too. Here's some inspiration for some words that might work for you in your life. A funny story about a word of the year. I always try to do something to just keep my word top of mind, whether it's necklace or bracelet or just cut out somewhere, whatever it is. In my office, if you look on the bulletin board behind me, there's a word intentional, and that was my word a couple of years ago. And I actually, that one's just stuck with me for a really long time, because everything that you do, it should be intentional. Like every relationship that you have, it should be intentional. Every business adventure you go into should be intentional. To execute your plan for the year should be intentional. You should really put intention behind everything you do, right? And I found that I was going through the year that intentional was my word, is I found I was going through the motions of so many things in my life, because there was just all the things you had to do, but I wasn't being very intentional in several areas of my life. So that was my word that year, is so that I could be reminded to be intentional with the things that were important to me. Funny, I was on a Zoom call with a great friend of mine, and she said, oh my gosh, I got to show you something. Like, stopped in the middle of our conversation. She had caught the word intentional on my thing behind me, and she moved her computer screen to show me that that was also on her bulletin board. And that was one of her words the year before. And she's like, that one just stuck with me. And so there really is power in the words you use. There's power in the words you see all the time. So I would love for you to find a way to work in a word of the year into your vision board, or just into your life. And again, where will you see it? So connection was my word this year, but normally I'll have something that shows almost like you can find cute little like breakdowns of the word and what they mean. So like a screenshot of that you'll see frequently when you open your phone. I find that we're on our phones a lot, right? I know it's not just me, it's all of you guys, we're addicted. It's okay. Admitting it's the first step. So have something on your phone when you open it, because how many times do you just go, you don't need your phone. There's nothing in there that you need to see right now, but you're just going to pick it up and look at it. So have something on your screen right then. Mine right now actually says the quality of your habits now will determine the quality of your life in 90 days. They put that on there the last 90 days of the year. Every single time I open that phone, I'm reminded, like, are the habits that I'm doing right now creating the quality of life that I'm going to have 90 days from? So use your phone. That can be where your word goes. It can be where your vision board goes, wherever it is to get you excited. Make sure that you have that somewhere you can see it. One last thing that we're going to do, I just think these are always good. Bold laws are great to go on the vision board, because clarity is power. It really does give you clarity, or it does give you power when you have clarity on what you want. I think a lot of times when we're feeling lost or we're feeling behind on what we're supposed to be doing, it's because we've got a lack of clarity on what we're doing, right? So the vision board can help bring you back into the clarity of what's really important. And you're not going to put things on your vision board like your day-to-day tasks. And it might be something that's a new habit that you're going to implement. So maybe that's going to go on your vision board. But it shouldn't be like feed the dog. That's just every day you got to do that. Your dog wants to eat, feed it every day before 7 a.m. or whatever time, right? 7:30 for your dog. Yeah, Sunny starts crying about 8 if she's not fed yet. I remember Riker hasn't fed her. But that's not going to give me clarity on my future goals, right? But maybe waking up 30 minutes earlier every day would. So maybe an alarm clock could be a visual of that.
Another thing I used to do with these words is put them on the bathroom mirror. And I didn't realize like how much they were really doing until my neighbor, she's like, all those messages you put on your bathroom mirror. And it actually ended up getting her through some challenging times when she went through cancer stuff. So
I'm a huge fan of the bathroom mirror and the expo marker. I know you guys have already heard this story before, but maybe for one of you that hasn't yet, is not too long after I joined Keller Williams, it was just like I had blinders on for a while, and it was like my blinders were just blown the freak off my face. Like I couldn't even keep them like out to the side anymore. They were just gone. And I was finding that I wasn't dreaming big enough. And then it was hard to like pull people along that I was trying to get to dream with me. And so I started writing on my bathroom mirror every day, I am a big dreamer. And that one and the I'm a master of my schedule are probably the two most impactful I am statements that I ever wrote on my bathroom mirror. But I wrote it not just for myself to see, but I wrote it for my kids to see when they come in the bathroom to get their hair done. I wrote it for my husband to see, who at the time was very much living in a very safe space of we don't dream big like that. He didn't have the same vision that I did of Christmas in our cabin. He had a vision of like, let's get some recreational land that we can put a tent on. And that's great if that's your vision, right? But I was like, no, dream bigger. I don't want to spend Christmas in a tent in the mountains. No, you know, so I think the bathroom mirror is a great example. If that's where you want to put your word, I love that. If you're writing it every day, or if you just do something permanent on there, whatever you think, I think however you want to connect with that. Again, remember it's your vision. So you get to connect with it and create with it however you want. If you guys want to get like tattoos of it, you can do whatever you want. No judgment. I'm gonna support you. So however you want that to be, just if you're gonna permanently put it on your body, make sure something you're gonna connect with long term. Okay.
There's temporary tattoos. You can have
Yeah.
them temporarily made.
Yes,
For us that have commitment issues. you can have
long term relationship.
your own tattoo temporarily designed.
Whatever you want. It's your world, guys. We're just here to help support it. So I'm gonna actually walk through before we create vision boards today. So we have stuff for you to create your vision board. We've got either the digital version that I'll go back to so you guys can scan if you like the digital version. We've got some poster boards and some markers and stickers and that kind of stuff if you want to create an actual physical vision board, whatever you want to do. You can also create a Canva one and print it out. Again, it's your vision. You get to create it however you want. If you see things better in black and white or color, that's up to you. But one thing that we're going to do first, and this is the part where I think people always are like either really into it or they're just like, you're such a freaking weirdo. Why do we have to do this? But we're going to just do like a little guided journaling, and I'm going to turn off the lights for a minute. And I'm just going to encourage you to, if you don't have a paper, use the back of the numbers one or the back of your kindness one, whatever you want to do. But I really want you to just like only worry about the pen on your paper. Don't worry about anyone else or what they're writing or what they're thinking, or don't worry, nobody's looking at what you're doing. But I want you to just kind of walk through this, and I think it's going to get some creative juices flowing of what you want to create in your life for next year. And I didn't pull this up in advance, so I'm going to see if my phone will be loud enough. But you guys, so I'm a Gemini, and the full moon last night was a full moon in Gemini. And so I just was like, oh, I had done a meditation the night before because I couldn't sleep. And so last night I did a Gemini full moon guided meditation, and there was no words to it, which I usually like the ones with words because it helps me keep my mind focused on what I should be. But this one, I just really liked the music.
Where's Mercury? Where's Mercury? Retrograde. What's the opposite of retrograde? I feel like you guys are like in this whole like thing.
Pay attention. But what, so the Gemini energy with the full moon, just so you guys know, it's really about like change, creativity, saying what's on your mind. And it can create a little bit of chaos because Geminis tend to be like, it's a dual sign. So the twins are the sign of the Gemini. And so when the moon is in Gemini, it tends to create, sometimes you can look at it as creative or you can look at it as chaos, however you want to look at that. But it's also a really significant time of change. So this is a great time if there's things that you're like, I'm done with that. It's no longer serving me. It's a great time for you to leave those things behind you and invite in what you really want, because it's just a great time. Also, communication is like a key piece of Gemini. So if there's things that you're not communicating, it's probably a good time to do it. However, because the moon is full, be cautious. Just maybe like think through if you want to communicate something with someone, because sometimes we just tend to get a little loosey-goosey during full moon time and make some message that doesn't need to be given, right? So think that through. Maybe like do it through a filter it just a little bit with full moon rising. So what did you say?
Okay, so you want us writing what we,
I'm gonna walk through it with you. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to find.
You know, the teacher says ready to go and you don't know what you're doing. I got that like anxiety. It was like building. Teacher's like, hey, we're gonna start, and you're like,
Misinterpreted everything that you said.
This moon is known as the sleepy. Fun fact. Okay. All right, so everyone just take a couple deep breaths to calm us up, calm our energy down. Let your pen just flow when we start asking some questions. Don't try to edit yourself. Don't think too hard on this. Just keep writing. You're gonna go through it later and your subconscious mind's just gonna pop some things in that you need. So just write as we talk about it. So for the next few minutes, I want you to reflect and write down first some things that you're grateful for. What people? What experiences? These are things you're grateful for. Is it the home you live in? The freedom that you have? Money in your life? What opportunities have shown up that you're thankful for? What lessons have you learned this year that you are thankful for? What in your health? Friendships? Talent? Who are the people that you work with that you're thankful for? Who are your peers that you're thankful for? Mentors? And what beliefs are you thankful for? I'm gonna give you a couple minutes just to finish writing gratitude. As you're finishing up your gratitude list, this is a great place to start. If there's people in your life that you need to reach out and talk to or thank for something, this is a great list to start. So if we're lucky enough to have another 365 days this next year, what will we do with this gift? I want you to start to envision your perfect life and what you journal about today that you want to attract this year. So this is an emotional board, not a to-do list. So as we're thinking through things, remember to lead with emotion. The world that you're creating it just for yourself. It's your own world that you get to look at. So think about the places that you want to go or visit and who is going to go with. What do you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to learn? What feelings do you want to have more of this year? Is it courage, passion, energy? Think of the feelings that you want to embody. Who do you want to attract into your life? This can be friends, mentors, clients. Who are the people that you want to attract into your life? Who do you need to love more, and how will you show them? We are forever changed to those we do not forgive. So who do you need to forgive? And is it yourself? What lies do you need to stop believing? What do you want your health to look like? What kind of exercises do you do? What does your food look like? Where do you gain energy from? What books do you want to read or reread? seminars do you want to attend? What is your education or your learning plan gonna look like in 2024? How are you gonna have more fun? What kind of hobbies or things would bring creativity into your life? Yeah, forget about what small things will you do each day that will produce the biggest results? What is something that you need to stop doing that might have even a bigger result? Charity, organization, or person do you want to give your time and or money? Pick a place in your physical environment, a home, kitchen, bathroom, office, garage, anything physically that's in your environment. If you could improve it this year, what would that be and what would it look like? Kind of spouse, parent, or friend do you want to be? What does your wealth look like? What investments do you have? Do you have a certain number you want to have in savings? What does your wealth look like? And what will that do for you and your family? What is a fear that you need to let go of? How can you grow more spiritually this year? And what will keep you centered? End of next year, what would you be most proud of if you accomplished it? And then just the last thing, is there anything that you, any dreams, wishes, hopes that you haven't written down that you feel like deserve attention on this page? Start to wrap up, I want you to start looking through and just think to yourself, and if you're still writing, you can keep writing. But was there anything on there, if anybody wants to share? I don't know how anybody's brave, but even if you don't share with the group, I want you to think about some of the things maybe that surprised you that came out of that when you were walking through that. Was there anything that was surprising? Is there anything that got you emotionally connected to it? Is there anything that made you emotional? That you're excited for? Running another marathon? Love it. That's probably all the things. Emotional and excited, right?
If I may. Might be a little drawn out. I'm single, my husband passed away in 2010. I have recently connected to a guy in California. And I have no idea where it would go at this point. But my imagination is taking me places, and we're going to have a cabin in the winter, and we're going to go to Australia, and we will be matched, and we will mate, he will come, we will meet. And That's what it is right now. So,
I have a question because you got really personal, so I'll ask you a personal question to follow up. Is this the first time that you've really been open to the possibility of that future
no,
with someone else?
no, one other time, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna spit this out. There's this guy in California and I met him online and we're communicating and this, I had a relationship 8 years after my husband passed with a different engineer in Morgan. And we were together for 3 years and then he decided that we weren't for each other. But he came back into my experience a week after I met the guy in California. And so I'm kind of up in the air right now, but California is my goal.
I like it.
So,
Your world, you get to create it. I think just along those lines, and this is not vision boardish at all, but I think sometimes, when we're on the right track, little wrenches get thrown in our way. And so, I mean, you gotta look at that and say, is that a wrench throwing in the way of where I really need to go? Or is it maybe a lesson or a forgiveness or something that needs to happen there? Okay, so did anybody else want to share anything about the journaling exercise? Was that helpful? I know it's a little out of your comfort zone, but I think that sometimes you just gotta slow down a little bit and just get in touch with like what's going on here, right? Like, what do you feel in your heart? What's in your gut? What are the things telling you? Because there's a million different directions we could go. There's a million different things we can do. And I think we live in a society right now where we're really conditioned to think that because we see something online or we see someone else's highlight reel, that should be what we want. And at the end of the day, like, we got to decide what makes us happy and how we're going to connect with our vision. Because if you're not emotionally connected with something, you're just looking at somebody else's and saying, that'd be cool. But it's not going to drive you. It's not going to get you up and out of bed every morning. So we've got a few minutes left to just be able to do vision boards. So the thing I'm going to tell you with this list is take some time, whether it's now or later, but go back and reflect on those pieces that popped up that surprised you or got you emotional, or that you just felt some real excitement around, and dive a little bit deeper into it, especially if it's something that hasn't come up for you before. Take some time and just go a little bit internal with it. We're going to do some vision boards. So I'm going to switch back. Did everybody get the Canva link, or do you want me to pull that back up? And then I'll leave just some of these words up. And then remember the,
What if you don't know how to use Canva? If they're like,
that sure is the old fashioned.
I saw this out.
I need to go help you. Really quick that you're gonna want on your board, the 5 F's: fun, finance, family, fitness, and freedom. So keep those in mind. And then here is, oh, is it over here maybe? This one? You need to pop that up, or we can text you a link too.
Don't like your dinosaur.
All right, I might be being dumb, but when I scan it, it just takes me to Canva. It doesn't open anything.
It did for me now, but I had to request access.
Yeah, I had access too, but I got it.
Oh.
Maybe request access. I don't know, to be honest. I'm more of a skills tactical. Donna, did you have something you
I
want to
was
say?
gonna say, if, like, once your vision board was pretty good, something I've learned, because I believe in that, like, our brains are so powerful, is at night, like, this is one of those things, and before you go to bed, imagine and dream, and imagine after life, put yourself in that picture and fall asleep thinking about it. And then write a letter, right? I mean, just sit down and write a journal. Today I woke up in the beach house on the cliff, like, you get very specific about placing yourself in it and writing about it and imagining it, because that kind will take it. It hones in on each individual thing, and you can do it like every night. Monday nights, I'm gonna focus on this. So before you go to bed, like, just as you do your gratitudes or whatever your nighttime routine is, because tomorrow starts tonight, then if you take one piece of it and go deep. I think something I never even thought of that before my boards that happened this year. Like, I completely forgot.
Imagine what your world would look like if instead of scrolling the gram until you fell asleep, you like took 5 minutes to revisit your vision board and focus in on what that looks like.
And it feels so good, right? Like
Like, doesn't that feel better falling asleep that way versus the
you might
scroll?
think about it, because my actual stuff is
I love it. Okay, so a couple things. We've got the boards out there. So we've got some images. Obviously, you're free to print whatever you want if you didn't bring images. And then there's some markers, some stickers. You can create a Canva board. I'm just gonna skip back over to this. And I'll just pull up these words. I would love for you, we did this a couple years ago and I was thinking, oh man, that was fun. And I saw the picture of it. So when you have your word of the year, I want you to, please with an Expo, not with a Sharpie, but grab an Expo marker and write your word of the year on even nice window. Because I would love for us to be able to share with each other too, like what our words of the year are and for you to see and be inspired by other people. So I'm gonna, what's most helpful, the actual words or the thought process?
The actual
Actual words, okay, and we can skip these around, but anyway, you've got some time to work on them. I know you've only got about like 15 minutes to get started. You can stay here as long as you want. We don't have anything following. I think our sponsor will be here in a minute and we'll let them come in and chat, but get to work on your vision board. If you don't finish it today, before you leave the room, grab somebody and say, Haley, I'm going to commit to you. I'm going to have my vision board done by next Friday, and then follow back up with that person. And then please share your words with them. Okay. Thanks, guys. This is always one of my favorites. Yep. I'll grab those two. Let's get these out. You bring your and then
On Saturday, so we made, my sister-in-law made, and so we like, instead of the whipped cream frosting, we would cheese cream frosting on top of the.
Bye, dude. Get over it.
minutes before grab lunch and start working on our vision boards. So Catherine, with advanced phones is here.
Yeah, well, if you want left out, I feel like I always want left out.
Everybody give attention to Catherine for just a minute. Catherine, right? Okay, awesome. They're with advanced homes in Catherine and Jay. So Jay, this is Jay.
Yeah, we
And
have Denise. Yep, so we're with Advanced Homes. So yeah, I'm Catherine, this is Shay, this is Denise. So we are a commercial company as well, but we do real estate as well. And we've built luxury townhomes in Park City. We've done in the Promontory subdivision. We've done custom homes in Fruit Heights, Farmington, Kaysville, and Morgan. And we have a development in Roy. It's Park 43 townhomes. We have 32 units available. We've got, and we have brochures on your lunches that we want you guys to look at. There's a QR code. But we are townhomes in Roy, so they're beautifully designed. They're 1,617 to 1,624 square feet. They have 9-foot ceilings on the main and upper levels, spacious open family room with LVP flooring, horizontal metal railings. We've got elegant lighting, under counter lighting, toe kick lightings, gourmet kitchen with upgraded appliances with gas range, stainless steel gas range, tile backsplash dishwasher, microwave convection oven that's built into the cabinets, as well as a French door refrigerator. Hood vent above the range as well, and then all the cabinets are custom designed by North Davis. And then the second floor has an open loft space for desk or play area or media center. So if you work from home, it's a beautiful space. And then all the interior finishes mentioned are standard in every unit. So they're not considered upgraded. You don't have to pay extra. And then all the garages are prepped for EV charging with conduit. And then we've got 4 plans, 5 different interior selections. We've also installed a pedestrian bridge at the end of the property that connects to a walking trail, and that walking trail connects to a fishing pond. It's a public fishing pond. We're located just 8 minutes west of Hiller Horse Base. There's Ken's grocery store, there's restaurants and retail within 10 minutes. And then it's also a great investment opportunity because they allow for short and long term rentals in the unit. But then we are really excited to announce that we're teaming with Intercap Lending and we're offering a 4.99% interest rate buy down. And that's like, we're hoping to close homes by 12/31. This is good for our move-in ready homes, which we have 12 that will be done.
Is that a buy down or long?
It's
A little bit of both. So it's long-term to 5.99, then a 1 year to 4.99, but it's long-term permanent to 5.99.
And we want to invite you guys to come to our townhomes after we eat lunch. We're gonna do a drawing for this gift basket and a $50 gift card, but we'd love for you to come visit them. We're gonna do the drawing at 2. So we'd love for you to come visit them and give us your feedback and just come and see them for yourselves. We want people to see them for themselves because I can talk about it, but.
Where are they at in Roy?
So they're just west of the Hillgate, so straight down 5600 west, and then we're on 4300 west. So it's just past the Kent's Market. And we, just a few weeks ago found out our townhomes are within the boundaries of the new Westfield High School that's in Taylor. If you're familiar with that area, but that's a big deal out there, so these homes will be within those boundaries.
We've
So-
had other agents that have attended our open houses and they show really well for agents. They're like, the upgrades they're not upgrades, our standards are like upgrades. And so they're like, they're easy to sell, they're easy to show.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So we want you guys to come.
Which of the price point was?
Oh, I didn't even see that. 424.9. Thank you.
And then on your lunches, Catherine just put one of these on each of the lunches and it's got the QR code here that takes you to our website. And there's also a pin that drops directions. So it's got the website
Yeah.
detail. You can see all the townhomes and the directions. So those are right on there and then.
Catherine was describing that, everyone else could just like visually walk right through it, right? Did anyone else? They're like, oh, vision board.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like.
That's very good.
Yeah. Picture it off. Well, that-
The law is so nice. You know, a lot of people work from home and that's just a good selling point. So, but we're gonna do the drawing at 2. So please come down. Enter the drawing. You can win this beautiful basket that was custom made. Actually, I didn't just go like that. They made it. So please come. We'd love for you guys. And we're gonna do that too. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
And we're gonna do content to lunch.
Okay,
So,
awesome. And you guys are gonna hang out for a minute?
yeah.
Okay, so if you have any questions?
Yeah, did anything, yeah. Go talk.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it was, no, I had to go forward and get-
And then there are pictures.